Hello. In this part we're going to talk about retrofitting an air conditioning into an older car in respect of the condensing of the refrigerant. This piece, also called AC cooler, is actually what condenses the used up hot gas into liquid, and from there it's transported into the AC compressor, which compresses it and sends it back into the cabin of the car to the evaporator. And our car, so the Porsche 924, 1980 built year, it looks like this. This condenser is not actually the proper one. The proper one for the 2-liter models is extremely rare to find in a good condition. Actually, not impossible to find in good condition. And the new one costs around $600 or something like that. This is way cheaper. This costs like $260 after taxes and so on, because I had to ship that from the UK. Thanks Brexit. And this is what I'm going to be using. This is the largest one that I could fit on this assembly. And I would like to go bigger because it increases the efficiency, but this is all I'm going to get. To make this work, I had to buy some pieces of another car, some parts of a car that used to have AC, and that's one of the parts. This is an air shield or deflector. It sits before the radiator, something like, let's say, like this. And it allows the air coming in to make this sharp turn without too much turbulences here and to reach the top of the condenser. This is a part that I didn't knew existed, but as I was disassembling the AC car, I found it, and it obviously serves this purpose. So I bought this, and this, looking from the front of the car, is the first thing we need to install. This is your standard 2-liter radiator, to which we will mount this condenser using the brackets that I made, and it will be mounted from this side because this is the direction of the airflow. After our standard water cooler comes the air shroud. This is a part that I designed with my brother, and we had it laser cut, and we bent it, and I designed it so it would fit the biggest possible fan that I could fit under the bonnet. Although it's a bigger unit than the standard one, it's still a lot smaller in height. So it gives us more room under the bonnet, and it also has these flaps. These flaps are actually quite common on cars, and they serve the purpose of better cooling while sitting in traffic, because as you go along, the air moving through the radiator assembly moves these flaps away, so it helps with cooling when you go down the road. But then when you stop, the original assembly ends like here and has a really huge gap over here, which means when you stop and the fan kicks in, it sucks not only air through the cooling assembly, it also sucks the hot air through this gap here. Using these flaps prevents that. So when you stand still, this is actually, in the car, this is actually mounted on an angle, so the flaps are always a little bit open, and while you drive, they're open a little bit more. But when you sit in traffic and the fan kicks in, it creates a vacuum inside of here, and it actually sucks the flaps down. Because this is sealed all the way here on the radiator, the air has no other possibility to rather than go through the cooling assembly. And all of the performance of this fan is directed to cooling our coolant and our refrigerant. This is actually quite common on a few cars. I saw it on VWs and BMWs and so on. And this is, I guess it's 2 millimeters aluminium, and it gets bolted in place of the radiator, in place of the original assembly. You can see these tabs here because the original AC cars have actually a dual fan, which eliminates the problem of sucking air from the engine bay as long as both fans are running. I'm running also a different type of what you call it. This is a switch, thermal switch. It has 2 modes. You know, the one is on when the coolant reaches, I guess, 83 degrees, and the other one when it reaches 90 or something like that. I obviously have one fan right now, but I can use the other contact to either trigger another fan, which I could mount from this side, or I can just trigger an alarm or a control, you know, a blinking lamp or something like that. I was planning on using a 2-speed fan, but I have one for the 2-liter cars, which would work with this, but it still leaves me with this place open here. I could just put a piece of metal here, but then the air wouldn't move freely through here, this part. I could also make this flaps and use it in conjunction with the fan, but it seems a bit overkill. Well, yeah. This is what I came up with, and this assembly goes in front of the car. This is another part of a few-part series about retrofitting an AC into an older car and the problems that you come by when you do this, and there are quite a few problems when you do this. So it's very important to optimize the flow of air through this whole cooling assembly, and also from the engine bay out, but that's a topic for another video. Hope you enjoy. If you have any questions about this, or you would like to purchase this part, this is obviously a prototype. Don't mind the funky details. I did test the functionality with the flaps, and it does work. It still has to be proven if it's much better or just marginally better than the standard one. But like I said, if you have any questions, just let me know, and I will see you in the next video.